Okay, so we're gonna start, please, with connectors. Okay, we did connectors. I think it was Thursday. We're gonna continue with connectors today. Okay, and tomorrow we're gonna do the speaking section. Okay, so we were left here in the coordinated conjunctions that are very important. Fanboys. Fanboys stands for and nor but or yet. So those are the initials of these connectors for and nor but or yet. So in this case we're gonna go with yet. Okay, so oh no, I'm sorry, it was with or. So the other connector that we have here is or. Uh and with or we need to use and we need to place a comma before or. Okay, as in all of these coordinated conjunctions, we need to place a comma before, and we cannot use them at the beginning, okay? So, of course, it's impossible to say, like, or I'll kill you, give me, right? So that doesn't make any sense. So, can you please create an example? Abigail, can you please create an example, a sentence using or?
Um, can I go outside or the garden?
Or the garden, like this?
Yeah, can I go outside?
Okay, can I go outside of the garden? Okay, so here we have can I go outside or should I go to the garden? Something like that. Okay. So here we have a problem here, okay? So these or like outside or the garden. Like instead of can or I would say like should I go outside or should I go to the garden, right? Or can I go outside or the garden? Okay, that doesn't really uh create a very good sentence. However,
Teacher, is like cause and effect.
like what? Can you please explain to me?
I recently see the example, and I think that it's like a cause and effect, something like that.
Like a cause and effect sentence?
Yeah.
Can you please write down the sentence, or is it this sentence? Is this okay? Can I go outside or the garden?
Yeah. It is my sentence, but I think it's wrong because the your example above, I think that is like cause and effect.
So what's the cause here? Like your sentence is the cause and effect?
No. I think that my sentence is wrong.
Okay, yes, it's wrong. But how can you fix it? Or give me another example of
Um,
another sentence that is not wrong, like something like this. Give me your money or I'll kill you. Something like that. Could be
or
whatever.
could be, can I go outside or I'm going to sleep here?
Or I am what?
I'm going to sleep here.
Okay.
I'm going to sleep here.
Okay, can I go outside? So is this a question? Can I go outside or I'm gonna sleep here? I think this is not a sentence because like, can I go outside? So that's the sentence, right? That's a question. Or I'm gonna sleep. I'm gonna sleep here. It's like sort of a sentence, but you're like threatening something. I don't know if you could correct this sentence. Okay, if If
Or
not, okay, yeah, go on.
or I don't know, maybe give me something to drink or I'm going to sleep here.
Okay. Mm, That's much better. Give me something to drink or I'm going to sleep here. Okay, so here we have a sentence that has an or, and of course, as I told you, you need to place a comma before. Okay, but if you said like something like this, I don't know. I want pizza uh or dessert. Okay. I want pizza or dessert, something like that. Okay, in that case, like, or I want pizza or yeah, or dessert. In this case, like this or is not the same because you are not connecting to clauses. Dessert is not a clause. Remember what was a clause? So in all of them, you need to connect to clauses. A clause is a grammatical uh grammatical sentence that contains a subject and a predicate. Okay? Dessert is only a subject. So this or is not the same. It's a different or. Okay? So like and if you have one like this one that I'm talking about here is the or that connects to clauses. Each clause has a subject uh, and a predicate. I am going to sleep here. That has a subject and a predicate. Give me something to drink. It has a subject and a predicate. Even though this sentence is like it's a type of sentence that you're ordering something, right? So regardless of that, it has a subject and a predicate. Okay, so that's the order. I think it's like not very difficult, this order. Everybody uses. Let's go with yet. Okay, this yet is a very, very important word because you can use this yet with gonna use it like with like here. I think last class somebody created this example. I'm trying to use yes. Somebody created this example. So I'm gonna use that. I would like to travel to other countries, but I don't have enough money. Instead of but, you use yet. So they have the same meaning. Okay, they have exactly the same meaning. So instead of using but, you could use yet, and they have the same punctuation. They need a comma before the word like this. So instead of using like but, you could use yet. It has the same meaning. And we're not talking about the yet that we say like I haven't come here yet or I didn't do that yet. Like I haven't done that yet. We're not talking about that yet. We're talking about the yet that functions as a but. Okay, that's the yet we're talking about. It's a different one. It's this one. It has exactly the same meaning as but. So here you have something. Instead of using but, you use yet. If you did that, you would improve immensely in your TOEFL, okay? Any questions here regarding yet? Any question, fellas?
Teacher, but is this connector is common to use or it's like very unusual to use?
It's probably unusual. It's probably unusual. Not
Because I
very
have
unusual, but it's not like usual. It's unusual, but it's not like very unusual. I would say like these four that we learned last class, this is very unusual. But if it's unusual, that doesn't mean that it's wrong. Okay? It's much better if it's unusual. Then you're gonna be seen as somebody who uses unusual words. And that's great. If you the more unusual words you use, the better in the TOEFL. Okay. I'm not saying that you should use this word whenever you go to your, I don't know, if you apply to a university there or you work there, you go to the US, you shouldn't like talk with yet. I'm not saying that you should. I'm saying that in this standardized test, you need to use these words. But if you're trying to speak with somebody there and you use this yet and this for, basically this for, it's very uncommon. Okay. So they're not probably get it. But for the test, please, the more unusual, the better for you. Okay. Any other question? Good question, though. Okay, let's move on. So, okay, so I'm gonna ask Eliana. Eliana, can you please create a sentence using so?
Okay. I mm, I won't eat tomorrow.
I want in tomorrow.
So
Okay.
I hurry. Sorry, and the return.
Okay. So what? I want it tomorrow. So
I will eat too much today. Oh, sorry, tonight.
I'll eat too much. I'll eat too much tonight. I would say I will eat a lot
Okay,
tonight.
okay.
Okay, not too much
Yes.
because okay, I won't eat tomorrow, so I'll eat a lot tonight. Okay, I'm gonna use this. I will not eat tomorrow, so I'll eat a lot tonight. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so this show basically means entonces, por ende, no? I think everybody knows here about this show. We need to place a comma before. Okay, so please remember this show is not the same as this one. Okay, I'm gonna show you the last one that we saw. This is very different. So that I'll study so that I don't fail. It's very different because this is a purpose. So okay, I wouldn't like it'd be wrong if I said I won't I'll not eat tomorrow so that it's different, right? It's different. So it's a different so. The first one expresses purpose and this one expresses result. Okay, it expresses result. Like because of this, I'm doing this, right? I'll study hard, so I'll be tired tonight. Because I'll study hard, I'll be tired tonight, right? So that's it. Okay, any question thus far? Okay, no questions. Let's see. First of all, we're gonna use Okay. Please, Benjamin, can you please create a sentence using and like this? I like to play basketball and I like to watch the NBA. Okay, like two different clauses. Can you please create that?
Yes. For example, I want to learn German and I want to learn Italian.
Thank you very much. Italian. Uh, I want to learn. I don't know, like if you can say I wanted to learn German. I'm not sure about that. I think it's German language. Uh, want to learn German. Yeah, I know that Italian. You can for sure say that. Okay, hold on. Okay, yes, you can say that. Okay, I want to learn German. I want to learn Italian. Okay. Uh, let's do this. So we're gonna continue with these transitions. Okay, we've already seen some coordinated conjunctions, and now we're gonna see transition words. Okay. So basically, transition words like here connect to clauses. Okay, clause, transition, and then clause. Or you could use it like this. Clause, transition, and clause. With transitions, you have two possibilities. The first possibility is that you use a semicolon. Okay, a semicolon. Anybody knows the meaning of a semicolon? It's like punto y coma. Okay. So it's not like in English, we don't say punto y coma like a dot and comma. We don't say that. We say semicolon. Okay. So that's the meaning of semicolon. So we can use like these transitions with a semicolon before and a comma after, or we can use them like with a period before and a comma after. Okay, so with that being said, let's move on. We have the various types. We have transitions that are used to add. Okay, like here. I want to learn German and I want to learn Italian. So in that case, you use it like this. I want to learn German. In addition, I want to learn Italian. So it would be the same to say, I want to learn German. In addition, I want to learn Italian. Okay. So you could also say additionally, I want to learn German. Additionally, I want to learn Italian. You could also say furthermore. You could also use moreover. Sorry, also. You could also use moreover. You could also use plus. You could also use top of that. And besides. Okay, so you have various options there. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 options. Okay, that you can use instead of and. Okay, so you have various options here. Any question thus far? Okay, no questions. Then we have contrast. Okay, so here we can use in contrast, contrast are like instead of but or yet are the same. That's why they have the same color, right? It's green with red letters. Okay, so instead of saying but, I'm gonna use the same sentence. You could use any of these. The first one would be however. Okay, so you have this, however, that you can use instead of but. Okay, I would like to travel to other countries. However, I don't have enough money. Or you could use here the other form. Okay, so that's the first one. Then you have on the one hand, on the other hand. On the one hand, I would like travel to other countries. On the other hand, I don't have enough money. Okay, so that's the first one. And the second one is the same, right? Okay, any questions here? It's the same. You can use on the one hand, on the other hand. On the one hand is optional. Instead of saying, you could say like, on the one hand, I would like to travel to other countries. On the other hand, I don't have enough money. Or you could say like, I would like to travel to other countries. On the other hand, I don't have enough money. Okay. So you can omit the first one. That's why it's on parentheses. Okay. Any
Teacher,
questions?
can you explain that again, please? About on the one hand and other
Okay.
hand.
Yes, for sure. So
Thank
in
you.
this, on the one hand and on the other hand, it's a type of connector that is basically the same as but. Okay. So I'm using the same sentence we used in but. Like, I would like to travel to other countries, but I don't have enough money. Instead of that, you could say like, I would like to travel to other countries. On the other hand, I don't have enough money. You could say that. In that case, you are replacing directly but with on the other hand. And you have the option to say like at the beginning, on the one hand, I would like to travel to other countries. On the other hand, I don't have enough money. So this first part becomes optional. Okay, you could say like on the one hand, I would like to travel to other countries. On the other hand, I don't have enough money. So if you like say both of them, it's gonna sound like longer. That's why they omit the first part sometimes, and sometimes they use on the one hand and on the other hand. It's like in Spanish, por un lado, por otro lado, ¿verdad? A veces dices por un lado y a veces lo omites. Por un lado me gustaría viajar, por otro lado no tengo dinero. O también puedes decir, me gusta viajar, por otro lado no tengo dinero. O directamente. En el inglés puedes hacer eso. Okay. So that's
Thank
like,
you.
okay. Is it clear now?
Yes, teacher. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Any other question there? Okay, no more questions. Then we have, instead of however, we can use nevertheless. That's another possibility. Nevertheless. It's the same as however or as but. Okay, nevertheless. Then we have nonetheless. The same. I would like to travel to other countries. Nonetheless, I don't have enough money. Then we have, in spite of that fact, here we have the same thing, okay? So you could say here, you could say like this. Or you could say it like this. I would like to travel to other countries. In spite of that, I don't have enough money. This is okay. Okay. This is totally correct. And you could say like this. I would like to travel to other countries. In spite of that fact, I don't have enough money. So it's also okay. Okay. So the only difference here is that in one you use fact and the other one you don't use fact. But it's the same. Both of them are correct. So that's why it's in parentheses, okay? So it has the same meaning as but. Despite of that fact, the same. Then you have still. And then we have on the contrary. Okay, so they have the same meaning as but. You have various options here. On the contrary, still, despite of that fact, in spite of that fact, nonetheless, nevertheless. On the one hand, on the other hand, however, you have various options there in order to replace but. Okay, any question so far? Okay, no questions. Let's continue here. Then we have a result. Okay, so I'm gonna use the same sentence somebody gave it to me. Okay, hold on, please. 2 minutes, okay? I'm gonna get back. Okay, thank you for waiting, fellas. Okay, so with that being said, we're gonna continue with this example that somebody gave me. I'll not eat tomorrow. As a result, I will eat. I'll eat a lot tonight. Okay, I'll not eat tomorrow. As a result, I'll eat a lot tonight. Okay, so you have two options, the same. Then you can, instead of saying so, you can say as a result, you can also say thus, thus, thus. Then you can say consequently, consequently, consequently. Then you can say therefore. You can also say accordingly. You can say hence, for this reason and for that reason. Okay, so you have various options here. You have consequently, you have thus, you have as a result, therefore, accordingly, hence, for this reason, for that reason. You have 7 options, fellas. in order to replace the so. Okay. So I don't want you, hence, I don't want you to be repeating so much. Okay. I don't want you to do that because so is very common. Okay. It's a very common. You need to speak with more unusual words. Okay. That's my advice. Please memorize this. It's not a lot. Please memorize them and then replace in your writing, in your speaking, instead of saying so, please say hence or say for that reason, for this reason, and therefore, thus, accordingly, as a result. You have 7 options here. Okay, as I told you, you can use them like whatever form in writing, and it's pretty straightforward. Okay. Any questions here? Okay, no questions. So please, can you, Maria Fernanda, can you please create a sentence using, for example,
Okay.
like this? There are many countries in South America that have been World Cup champions. For example, Argentina won the trophy in 2022. Okay.
Okay. Um, Kelly expects us to bring our own supplies. For example, our notebooks and pens.
Thank you very much. Instead of, for example, our notebooks and pens, you're then listing something. Can you please use like a clause there with a subject and predicate? Like, for example, is Kelly expects us to bring our own supplies. For example, you could change the sentence basically if you cannot come up with a clause there.
Okay. Um,
Like the example here, you could base your answer on that.
yeah, okay, I am thinking. Could it be there are many things in the fridge
Okay.
um that I would like to eat? For example, chicken, meat.
No, then you're again
Oh,
listing things, right? I
yeah,
don't want
yeah.
you to list things. I want you like,
Mm,
I don't know. I'm gonna give you an example. Uh, you can do various things in this university. For example, you could study or play soccer or something like that, right? It's a longer version. You need a like, I want you to connect two clauses. right? Two clauses. One clause has a subject and a predicate, and the other has a subject and a predicate as well. Okay, so the for example that you're talking about, like for example, apple, bananas, and grapes, that's not the one we're talking about here, because that has like on the first part it has a clause, and then the second one you only have subjects, right? So I want you like to make a sentence with much longer meaning, okay? What can you say? Another set or anybody if you have an answer.
Teacher,
Be-
could we, there are many things in the fridge that I would like to eat. For example, that fruit salad that has been stored for days.
For example, that
That fruit salad that has been stored for days.
has been there for 4 years.
Has been stored for
Stored
days.
for days, like this, right?
Has been stored for days.
Oh, sorry. Yes, has been stored. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, that's right. Okay, we're gonna use this example. Thank you very much. It's a much longer version, right? It has two clauses. The second clause, instead of saying, for example, fruit, I don't know, chocolate, you're like saying that fruit has been stored for days. This is a clause. Because it has a subject that's fruit salad, and it also has predicate. Okay. Okay. With that being said, I'm gonna use this, and we're gonna do you can, instead of saying, for example, you could use to illustrate. To illustrate. Okay. But this to illustrate, and this is the mistake I always find when we talk about to illustrate, it's a straightforward to illustrate. Okay. So I hear many people say like to illustrate that. No, it's not to illustrate that. It's to illustrate. It has the same meaning as for example, okay? So you don't need to say to illustrate that. Okay, you don't need to say that. Even here, you like to illustrate that fruit. No, it's only to illustrate. Okay, so that's a mistake I always hear with to illustrate. People confuse to illustrate with to illustrate that. No, you only need to use to illustrate. Straightforward. Then you could use it. You could use exemplifying. Okay, this one is a good one because it's rare, but it's 100% correct. Simplifying. Then you could use, for instance. And then you could use e.g. Okay, so this e.g. is only for writing. Okay, you don't, it's only for writing. Yeah. Here. Only for writing. Okay, so in this case, we're gonna, sorry here. we're gonna have these options, right? For example, for instance, exemplifying the illustrate, and we have EG, but this is only for writing, okay? If you see this EG somewhere, because it's fairly common in articles and academic uh, essays, the meaning is example given, okay? It's the same as to say, for example, or for instance, okay? So that's EG. Okay, but it's only for writing. You could not say like EG. You could not like use this in a speaking question, okay? I don't know if there's any question regarding this. Okay, so we're gonna move on. Then there is the state facts transitions. You've probably heard of them, okay? In fact, it's fairly commonly used in English, okay? In fact, in Spanish is not so common. El de hecho. No sé si la gente lo usa tanto como en el inglés. En inglés es más común. So, in fact, is said when you try to state a fact, something that it's true. Okay. I'm a good student. In fact, I have good grades in math. Okay. I'm like stating facts. I have good grades in math. That's a fact. And that's something that I use to support the first sentence. I'm a good student. In fact, I have good grades in math. Okay. So this is the use for in fact. We could use instead of in fact as a matter of fact. I'm a good student. As a matter of fact, I have good grades in math. Okay, so it has the same meaning. Is to state facts. Then you have indeed or indeed. Indeed or indeed. It has two pronunciations, okay? You could use either of them. It has two pronunciations. I'm a good student. Indeed, I have good grades in math. Or I'm a good student. Indeed, I have good grades in math. Okay, so it's the same as in fact. And then you have only this IE that is only for writing, okay? I'm gonna write that down. It's only for writing. That means that you cannot like say this. Okay, this is only for writing. I'm a good student, i.e. I have good grades in math. So you're probably gonna read this in some articles, and I'm gonna try to show you some of them. Try to show you some of them. Okay, well, I'm not finding anything, but it's like the same as in fact. Okay. Any questions here?
No, teacher.
No? Okay. Thank you very much for answering. So we're gonna go to the next one. Similarity. Okay, so this is the last one. I really want you to understand. The rest are like only for listening purposes. Likewise, he's going to China to buy stuff. Likewise, she's going there. Similarmente, de la misma manera. Okay, so the same form of doing the punctuation, right? Semicolon, comma, those things. Instead of likewise, we could use similarly. Similarly. And we could also say equally. Going to China to buy stuff. Similarly, she's going there. He's going to China to buy stuff. Equally, she is going there. Okay, so this is another one. And then we have these that you can use like to finish, to conclude, to sum up, finally, in conclusion, summarizing, all in all, and those that you could use in an essay, okay? I'm not listing all of them because they don't have like different ways of like a coordinated conjunction version or a subordinated conjunction version. So there are plenty of them, okay? So you could use plenty of them. The only thing that you could like use from this lesson is that you always have to put this or have to write this using the same punctuation, right? Then we have, we're gonna do this very quickly. We have to organize. You could say like first, first of all, firstly. Okay, so you could use like these three when you're trying to speak because you use them often. You're gonna realize that. So instead of saying first, you could use firstly. It has the same meaning, or first of all. Or with second, instead of saying second all the time, you could use secondly. And there are many more. Here you have only a few to organize, okay? There are many more to organize. Then you have continuation. You have afterwards, subsequently, like he went to the park. Afterwards, he bought a computer. This is for writing purposes, of course. And then you have purpose, with this in purpose and with this in mind. I went to Colombia to meet my Chinese teacher with this in purpose. I also took my dog with me. Okay, so you could use the same. I went to Colombia to meet my Chinese teacher with this in mind. I also took my dog with me. Okay, so it is the same. Okay, so there are various more to finish, organize, but that's not the purpose of these connectors. Okay. Is there any question, fellas? This is it for connectors, fellas. That's everything you have to know on connectors. I'm gonna send you this document. Okay, so don't worry about the document. I'm gonna send you this. Okay. So I wanted to finish so that I could send you the last document. I'm gonna give you a couple more minutes if you have any questions. Otherwise, we're gonna finish here. Okay, I already sent you the document to the WhatsApp group. Okay, so please, fellas, fill out this poll.